Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another blogging and website tutorial. So you've decided that you want to make a WordPress.org blog, just like all the professional bloggers you've seen do every day. And you've decided you want to set it up on Bluehost. Well, maybe your friend recommended Bluehost to you. Maybe you realize that WordPress themselves recommends Bluehost as the #1 host. Or maybe you just want to use Bluehost because the sky is blue and you've got a blue coffee mug and you've got a blue cat. Well, no, not that, but a blue credit card, maybe a blue sandal and a blue tie with little blue elephants on it.
You swim in a blue swimming pool, you got your blue mask, you even ride a blue skateboard to work.
So why not get yourself a Bluehost? And yes, that's right, I am filming in my bedroom today and not from a real YouTube studio because it's just safe here and so cozy. Well, in any case, you're in the right place, guys. I've used Bluehost to make my WordPress sites come to life, whether it's a blog, an e-commerce site, just a business site for one of my clients, or any sort of website. I've done it for almost 5 years now. I love how easy they are. I love how things just work. You only have to click a couple buttons to get your site live and actually start creating content, which I'm sure you're excited to do. And I consider myself kind of a Bluehost expert now. But not an expert in the sense of a know-it-all, just someone like you who's going to use the product and enjoy it and just be a part of this awesome community of WordPress and Bluehost. Okay guys, so in this video, we're going to actually start at bluehost.com. We're going to go ahead and get you guys all set up. And by the end, you'll actually know how to design your WordPress theme too. So I'm not just gonna leave you hanging. We're gonna walk through literally everything from start to finish. Just to knock off a few questions you might have before we begin, yes, we're gonna get you a free domain name at Bluehost, which is so cool because domain names have cost anywhere from $10,000 to $100,000 to like $15 in the past, and you're not gonna have to pay any of that. So right out of the gates, you'll have a good deal, and you'll probably be paying less for your website than most people who just set it up without having a YouTube video to help them. And you'll definitely be paying less than someone who hired a local developer in their town. If you don't believe me, check it out. They charge a ton these days. And it's just good because they are technically the #1 host. They're very professional, and other bloggers you'll meet will use Bluehost too, so you guys can share experiences. Whatever your reasons are, guys, I'm happy you're here in this video. We're gonna cover it all, and any questions you have, you can post in the comments. I'll try to get back to them the same day. So without further ado, I know I'm super excited, I hope you are. Go ahead and grab yourself your favorite drink, light a candle, do whatever you need to do to get focused and comfortable, because this will probably take about an hour's time today, even though this video might be a little shorter. Just looking through everything and pausing the video will probably take you about an hour to make a website at Bluehost and install WordPress and do everything properly. So get ready, get comfy, let's jump in. I'm so excited, and here we go. But seriously, who jumps into their bed to make a blog like that? This guy. And the cat is okay. And I appreciate you guys, appreciate you being here. Throw a little like down there if you're ready to get started, because a lot of this stuff took time to set up. And honestly, why not hit like? It's free, it's blue, or maybe it's black now. I'm not sure, maybe it's red. Go ahead and do that to help me out. That way you'll see more of these videos as they come up, and you'll learn how to do Bluehost better just by opening your YouTube app. I'll be right there to explain Bluehost to you. Okay guys, but in all seriousness, thanks so much for being here. Let's go ahead and jump into our computers now. You can look at my screen and follow along on yours, of course, and we're gonna learn how to install WordPress at Bluehost, do it all the right way, and do it all on a budget and in an impressive amount of time. I'll see you on the screens.
All right, guys and gals, so before we start a blog with Bluehost this year, market crash, I remember that, rough. You're gonna wanna scroll down to the description beneath the video, and I left you a special Bluehost discount link that you want to click for 2 reasons. So the first one is just to say thanks to Greg over here. That gives me a little affiliate credit from Bluehost for sending you over there. So thanks so much. I really only need like 1 or 2 of you to do this a day to make these videos worth it for me, to keep them free, so I can keep explaining Bluehost and all there is to know about WordPress for all you guys. So I really appreciate that. The second reason is that this gets you the best discount available. So Bluehost has prices of usually like $3.95 a month, but this will get you down to $2.95 a month, which really adds up if you sign up for Bluehost for up to 3 years and get the most value out of your initial purchase. And the last reason additionally is this gets you to the correct page. So there's a few different WordPress plans at Bluehost, but I want you to be on the most affordable one so you get the best discount possible, and so you do it the way I would do it if I was starting at Bluehost. So Go ahead and pop on down here. While you're down here, maybe click on that like button if you don't mind. Oh, see, it is blue. Look at that. And then pop over to that link right here. We're going to click the link. All right, and then here we are on our exclusive offer for Dear Blogger fans. That's my blog, Dear Blogger. We've been helping people learn about where to blog for almost 10 years now. And yeah, that's us at the Kapua Suites in Hawaii. If you know what movie that's from, let me know in the comments. We were actually in the Kapua Suite itself. Pretty cool. Got the iced coffee. But that's all we really need to say about that. Bluehost is just as great as you knew they were about 5 minutes ago when we started talking about them. So we're going to go ahead and get started by clicking on that big green Get Started Now button. Let's do it. Alright guys, so now there's 3 plans. We need to select our plan here at Bluehost, and I'll explain each one of them for you really briefly. So the Choice Plus is just too much money. We don't need all the features it offers. Although they do have $200 in marketing, that's pretty cool. But you know, $445 a month is just way more than $295 a month. And I would only recommend getting the Choice Plus if you have a corporate budget and you're not paying for this yourself. Next up, we have the Plus, and I know we are going from right to left, but I like going from most expensive to least expensive, just so you understand what you're getting into here and all the details. The Plus plan right now is the same price, which is really interesting. So I would only do the Plus or the Choice Plus, I guess, because they're the same price. If you were gonna have multiple websites, like you knew that you wanted to run like yourbrand.com and your mom's brand.net and your friend's brand.org and your other company.biz right now, then you could do the Plus or the Choice Plus. But we probably just have one website today because that's what most of you guys do when you start out, and you can always upgrade later on. So that makes the basic plan the best. You get one website. It's perfect for WordPress. Almost all the professional bloggers I know started out with the basic plan at Bluehost. You get a lot of website space, and this isn't a limit. It's just like a recommendation of the storage space, and all this other stuff is amazing, like a free SSL, which was not always included, by the way. I remember when you didn't get that, but now you get that nice padlock, connection is secure for free. That's what SSL means. And included domains and all the other good stuff like email accounts, which you might want to use later on. So that said, after a quick little review there, we're going to select the basic plan. So just click on the top or bottom select buttons. Next, we're going to create a domain name. All right, so if you search for a domain name, you're going to have the option to put in any words you want and then choose an extension, which is like a .com, a .net, what have you. And I want you to know that the .com is the most recognizable and also the most profitable if you sell your website someday. So always try to get the .com. Although there isn't any negative like SEO if you choose like a .org or a .co. Then hit next. Of course, your domain name might not be available right away, so you might need to do a little more hunting, like replace guide with setup or go with yourname.com. That's always a good one. We can celebrate now that we've gotten ourselves a good domain name. And next, it's time to create our account. So we're going to pop in account information, which is just like our name and our business name, which is optional. You're going to put in stuff like the country, street address, city, and of course, all that information is 100% secure. And then in package information, we're going to make sure we choose the best option for us today. The price goes down if you register more months up front. You'll just have to pay a little bit more upfront, but you'll get it at less cost per month. Hosting price is just the number of months we register for times the price. Domain's free, and you get a free SSL for security. Next, you'll see the package extras. All right, so obviously we want to check off on all of those because we're going to stay on a budget. I can show you how to do most of these tasks for free with the plugin, or you can add them on later in the future, guys. It's not a big deal. All right, so finally we have the payment information, and we're going to pay for our Bluehost web hosting just like you would at any other major online retailer. All right, pretty cool. So Bluehost has like over 2 million customers right now. Really great brand founded by Matt Eaton, and today they're going to get one more customer because we're going to join in. All right, so here I'm making my secure payment. Just going to pop in my credit card so I get some points and click that box down below. And once you've read through, it's time to hit submit, and this will take care of our domain name and hosting. And in the next step, we're just going to install WordPress. So Goes really quick. You should know that it's really easy and fun, and yeah, now you get to enjoy the same Bluehost setup that everyone you might have talked to has already done. So once you're ready, we're just going to hit submit together. Boom. And it'll say your purchase was a success. Great, so they have these updated graphics in the new Bluehost WordPress install. And we just need to hit create account to get going. Next, it's time to create your password. So we just have our domain name in there and choose any password that meets all their criteria. Try to make it strong, then check that box and then create your account. All right, here we're making a good amount of progress. Keep going with us here. Now click go to login. And it's going to ask us a quick little test, which is, do you remember the password you just made? So make sure you're on hosting login and remember that password. Type it in. And now we're going to click login. All right, doing great, guys. Stick with us here. We're almost to your WordPress blog. Congrats on making it so far. It's a big commitment here you've taken, and really you're setting yourself apart from so many other bloggers that decide to create a free blog. All right, so now let's create a website with some details. So the first thing is just the name of your site, which is literally just whatever your site title is. So, it could be anything like, Rick's Cool Toys or Jamie's Cool, whatever you want to call it. I'm out of ideas, but I just like calling it your domain name. Whatever's in your domain name, just put those words in the site title. And then for your tagline, that would be like a slogan for your website. So, maybe your favorite quote would work great there. All right, and when you do this, WordPress is going to take that information and put it on your blog. So you'll see it once we log into WordPress. All right, and now it says, do you want a blog? Well, I thought we were making a blog already. Well, this will just make sure that you have blog posts in a certain location. So of course we want that, and we're going to choose homepage so that we have a list of blog posts on our homepage. And then it says, do you want an online store? Of course, why not? I could definitely see us selling something like an ebook or some downloadable products or maybe a coaching guide later on. All right, so there we have it, and we're going to scroll down and we're going to hit continue. So the WooCommerce store is just by WooCommerce, which is a plugin. Next, it's time to tell us a bit more about you. Bluehost is basically just trying to understand what sort of site you want to make. This will help them recommend you themes, give you better WordPress support through their Blue Sky. They offer a lot of upgraded support features. So the more you tell them, the better. And they will read this and learn about your site so they can help you better later on. So of course, I'm just going to check all of them so we get all the options on the next screen. Then it says, are you comfortable with creating websites? Well, if you're with me, then yes, but after the video, you might not be comfortable. So we're just going to hit the very least one so that you get the most options for WordPress support on the next screen. And you get a phone number there if you want to call them for help. But obviously, you're here with me, and the YouTube comments are great. So now it's time to pick a theme that inspires you, not expires. These are all great themes. I can tell you about all of them. As you can see, there's like 559 of them, so there's really not time to explain all of them. But if you want, ask me about any individual theme. I'll tell you what it's good for, why it's good, and maybe why it wouldn't be for you. I've used almost all these themes we see right here. But we're going to skip this step. All right, so before I could finish talking, WordPress was installed. This is our dashboard. We're going to hit Get Started. Then we're going to say no thanks for the domain privacy protection because we're on a budget. And before we know it, we're going to be on the dashboard screen. All right, I'm just going to click away from here by clicking, I'm sure, turn it off. There we go. Now we're going to hit My Sites in the upper left. And in order to log in, we're going to click on Manage Site. So this is like kind of a quick little health check on your site, like how many themes you have, how many plugins, basically your sort of arsenal of tools, you could say. We're going to hit that button right there, and then there's us, and we need to create a password, and to do that we need to hit login. So here's our little guy in a rocket ship, and now we're logged in. Things at Bluehost go really fast, guys, so if you need to stop the video and ask a question, then please do so. I'm just going to close these little notifications here so that our dashboard is as simple as possible. Dismiss that one, and yeah, welcome to WordPress. You made it. So here we are now, and what I want to show you how to do is to go to users and change your password. So click on users and then click on yourself. Hit edit right there, or just click on your name and then scroll down, and under new password click generate password. Nailed it. Now we're just going to make sure we hide it and click on any password you want. Make it strong, of course, and come down and update it. So now you don't have to use any other password. You know your username, you know your password. You can log in whenever you want. We're going to click on the dashboard button in the upper left, which is also called our site title. That takes us from the back end to the front end. So it goes from the dashboard to this site, which is basically how the world sees it. So this is what your WordPress site looks like. This is the theme it's wearing. Obviously it looks okay, but not that great. And if you click on that button again in the upper left, it goes back to our dashboard. So it just kind of flips around like a pancake. All right, so that's pretty cool. If you notice in the upper URL bar, there's some weird temporary domain names sometime, like box76. Bluehost just does that because they're not sure like where your domain came from. So if you're using a domain name from GoDaddy, they're just going to give you that so you can actually look at your site. But we want to click on the Bluehost button. And then we want to come down to hosting, and now we're going to go to manage, and this is going to help us get rid of that weird like box temp domain thing, because it should just say yourdomainname.com. And you can also see how the dashboard's connected to the Bluehost and so on and so forth. All right, so click on home, and we can see right there in that little drop down we want it to just say yourdomainname.com, like I mentioned before. So click my sites. Now we're going to click on manage site. You guessed it. Now we're going to click on settings, and under site URL, you're just going to delete what's in there. If it's not your domain name, just delete it and enter in http:// you don't need to do a www, just enter in the words of your domain name followed by the .com, .org, .net, whatever, and then click on save updates. So this will make sure that when we visit your site, it's actually going to be your domain name and not something else that we get to look at. To log in now, you can visit your domain name /wp-admin. That's just how everyone really does it these days. It's just the standard for some reason. Then pop in your username and your password that you chose when we were in that users area. Click remember me and bookmark it so you don't forget this page. And now we're going to click on login. All right, so after we close up a few notifications here and clean up our dashboard a little bit, I always like doing that. The next step is going to be to install our new theme. So you can follow me down to Appearance, and when you hover on Appearance, click on Themes. In this area, you'll see all the themes your WordPress website came with. So it might be a little bit different for mine as it is for yours because I've built a lot of different websites on this domain name. But these are all the ones that you have currently, in your pocket. To find new themes from within the WordPress dashboard, click Add New Theme, and this will give you access to all the free themes. So you have all the popular, latest, favorites, and so on and so forth. These themes are really great. The problem is we haven't tested all of them, so we don't know that they'll be easy for you to build. And we don't know that you're going to get what they show you in this thumbnail, for example. And that's why we're going to get the premium theme that we saw in the introduction to the video, which is called Alder. Because Alder's a premium theme, it's not available in this little library. We actually have to go to a website and download it and then upload it to our WordPress site. So what I want you to do now is open up beneath the video by clicking Show More. And this is just an example from a previous How to Make a Blog video we made a few years ago. When you click on that Show More button, you're going to see a link to theme, or maybe Get Theme or Alder Theme, something like that, and just click on the link right next to it. All right, cool. So this one actually went to Laurel, which is made by the same company of Alder called Solo Pine. But to get us to the Alder theme, we can just search for it. So we're going to write in Alder and hit search. And there she is. Beautiful. So click anywhere on the thumbnail image. And now we're all set to buy this new theme. So you might wonder why we're on this website called Envato Market, because you can also just go to solopine.com, which is of course the main website of the Solo Pine creators. And then you can just click on Alder and go ahead and buy it here. Well, there are two reasons. So a theme is sold on two places, like on the main website and also on this larger marketplace called Envato Market, because the theme doesn't get enough exposure right here. Not enough people are going to find it and buy it. And that's why theme creators will put the theme up on Envato Market, because there's way more stuff here. It's like an Amazon of WordPress themes. And that will definitely increase their sales, as you can see right here with the number of sales. In your case, as someone who's going to buy and use the theme, it's a really good thing that Alder exists on Envato Market, because that will help you affiliate market the theme. So once you buy it, you can put a link to this page right here that I've highlighted in the footer of your blog. And when people click on that link, it'll take them to this page. And if they buy it too, then you'll earn a percentage of that sale. Affiliate marketing WordPress themes is just one way that bloggers make a good, healthy living. All right, now that we've covered that, we can just click Add to Cart for this theme. And let's review our cart. So we get Alder, responsive WordPress blog theme. Awesome. We're going to get support for 6 months included with this price. And by the way, most themes on Envato Market are like $50 or $60 or even $70. So this is definitely a discounted price. And you can see you can extend the support if you want, but we don't want to pay for that. So let's go to checkout. All right, and when you're on the secure checkout page, you'll see there's a little handling fee. Kind of annoying, but that's life. That's how they make a little money here at Envato Market. And then we can pop in our payment method down here. You can go with a credit card or debit card or use PayPal. All right, and then if you'd like, you can click plus your order just to review. Looks great. Theme, regular license, and 6 months of support. And now we can just make our payment. So let's do it. And now we can click on our downloads page. Beautiful, and we can see I have a bunch of themes. You'll maybe just have one, but in this case we have Alder at the top, and that's all we need to think about. We can just click the green download button, and then we're going to download the installable WordPress file only, because if we downloaded this stuff, we'd get like a bunch of unnecessary documents. So download, installable WordPress file only. Your browser will give you the drop-down, and you can choose where to save it. So I'm going to put it on my hard drive. We don't need to change the name of it, and then save it. Awesome, we saw it come in down there. So we're going to go back to our WordPress dashboard and click Upload Theme now. And choose File. And now we're just going to click on the theme we downloaded and open. And install now. It should work. So sometimes people have an error that their directory is not empty, in which case you should post a comment right away and I'll help you with another video on that topic. But in our case, it worked. Congratulations. Theme installed successfully, so we just need to activate it. Beautiful. And now when we click on our site title in the upper left to go to the front end, we will see our site looks totally different and we're ready to make a WordPress blog with the Alder theme. Awesome. So the first thing you should know about your WordPress site is there's a coming soon page active. What that means is if you looked at your link on a browser tab where you weren't logged in, like in incognito mode, then you'll see this coming soon page. And this is what the whole world will see because obviously they're not logged in. You're the only one that's logged in, and that means you see your actual site. But this is actually a pretty good screen to show people like a nice splash page that says exactly what it means. A new WordPress site, which is yours, is coming soon. It's got this nice little white book and a pen, and clearly you host at Bluehost, so everything here is very credible and nice. And we're going to leave it up until we're done and then celebrate at the end by removing the coming soon page. But if you did want everyone to be able to see your website exactly as it looks on your end while you're building it, say maybe you want a friend to review what you've made before you launch, then you can go ahead and remove the coming soon page by clicking this yellow button. But we're going to keep it up for now. So we're going to build our site in a top to bottom manner, just like a web designer would. And it's nice we have this SoloPine page open because we can click the live demo and see everything we're going to make. And after all, that's the way WordPress web design should be. You're going to learn how to make what you see. So we're going to start with our Instagram gallery at the top of the website, and then we'll make our social icons, our menu, set up this cool search bar with the cart icon if you want to sell stuff, logo, and then so on and so forth down the screen until we have all these features live on your blog. Alright, so let's do it. Let's hop over to our website and we're going to click on Customize. And Customize is where a lot of the action goes on in WordPress. And then from this screen, come down and click on Widgets. So if you can't find something you're putting into WordPress in a sidebar or in a header area, a lot of the times it's a widget. Just word to the wise for the future. In Widgets, we'll see our Instagram header, so click that. Then click Instructions. And Solopine has left us this nice little Tixie article on how to set up the Instagram header gallery. So we'll just walk through it, and I will admit this is a little bit advanced for the first feature we're building on your WordPress blogs, but at least once you get this out of the way, everything else is going to feel a lot easier, and you're going to learn a ton. So it says how to configure Smashballoon social photo feed plugin. Clearly we're getting a plugin here. In this guide we'll go over how to set up blah blah blah. If you find yourself with any questions during the process, alright, cool. So you can reach out to me because that's right below the video, a little bit quicker. So step 1, installing and configuring the plugin. First, we're going to want to grab this plugin. So let's do that. Let's open a new tab and open your site. So I usually like having a few tabs open, and click on the site title. Now to add a new plugin, hover on Plugins and click Add New. Great, and we're going to do a search for Smashballoon, or the first couple words in the plugin. Alright. And the one we want, just to double check, is going to be the social photo feed. There it is. Click Install Now and activate the plugin. Awesome, and it's got 900,000 plus active, so you know they're doing something good. Let's go back to our steps now, and it's going to say navigate to WP Dashboard Instagram feed. Okay, so you now get the Instagram feed tab, and your blog just became a little more powerful. You have more tools on the left. Now that we've done that, we're going to click on Connect an Instagram account. Alright. Connect Instagram account. Ours is a personal, although businesses are really cool too, and that's good if you want to grow faster. And I'm going to click Authorize. So you might need to log into Instagram right there. Alright, that's my account. It found it. Connect this account. And beautiful. So in our steps, it says once you connect, it's going to be time to set up the widget. We're going to need to navigate to WP Dashboard, Appearance Widgets. In our case, it's fine just to be in the Customize section with widgets here. So let's click Add a Widget. Then it wants us to get a custom HTML widget and paste in this shortcode right here. Now, shortcodes in WordPress shouldn't confuse you. They look funny at first, but all it really means is like this is some code that's been translated into something a little bit more user-friendly. It looks a little bit more like English. You can paste these anywhere on your site that accepts HTML, and then they'll interact with other code, for example in a plugin, and it'll display the right thing. Like in this case, it'll display an Instagram widget. So we're going to go to Customize. We're going to come down to Custom HTML, which is exactly what WordPress wants, and we're going to paste in this shortcode. Alright, let's see if it works. And it did! So we got a really cool Instagram widget. It's just like a little bit too big because I don't think people really want to see all of our posts from Christmas and, you know, me cooking up a fish over there. That's too much to show people. So let's make them smaller. Let's go back to our guide here on Solopine Tixie, and it'll say, so we inserted a 3x3 Instagram right here using this widget area shortcode, but what if we want to do a row? Let's try this shortcode right beneath it. Copy, go back in. We can delete this shortcode without anything going wrong. It'll just remove it and paste in the new one. And we can click on our site anywhere to get it to load. And perfect. So that looks a lot better. People get a much larger sample of our photos without being overwhelmed. Alright, but we're not done yet because Solopine gave us additional styling. We can go down to step 3. And in step 3 you can see there is custom additional CSS. And they're written out for each individual theme, like Alder. If you wanted to look good in Alder, you use this CSS. Or Laurel, which we love, use this CSS. So that's really thoughtful of them. And to use this, you don't need to know any code, but you can pretend that you know code and tell people you know code. All you need to do is copy everything in this box, except for where it says slash smash balloon feed styling slash. That's just a title at the top. Copy all that, come back to WordPress, go back, and click on additional CSS. And then we're just going to paste all of that in. Cool, and now click on our site to see if it refreshes it. Nothing's refreshing, so let's just try to publish it. And now let's go to our home page and see how it looks. Our page, and we can see that the Instagram feed still looks good. Didn't really do a whole lot to the images. I don't think it really did anything. So I'm gonna actually highlight all this and delete it because it'll just get in the way of other custom CSS that we want to write in here maybe later on. But if using that custom code made your Instagram feed in the header look better, then by all means keep it in there. So congrats on adding that Instagram header to our new WordPress blogs. We've now set up our very first feature. And one thing that became clear is that the use of plugins to make our WordPress website come to life is going to be pretty important. So why don't we head over to plugins and we'll make sure we have the right plugins installed and delete some we don't need. So I'm going to click back to the dashboard and now we can click on plugins. Alright, and so your WordPress plugins list could be a little different than mine. These are basically the plugins that Bluehost decided to give us by default. These plugins are all free, and if you end up deactivating or deleting one of them by accident, you can get them all back through the WordPress plugin library here if you just click on Add New and do a search for it. So a lot of people panic if like a plugin is missing or if they delete it, but you don't need to. These are all free. So I'm going to go through the list and delete the ones we don't need because that'll save space on our WordPress blogs and make it run faster for everyone. So the first plugin is Akismet. We should always activate that one because that'll protect you from spam comments. Meaning the spam comments won't get published directly on your blog, they'll get stalled and you can approve or delete them in your dashboard. We can follow the links from Akismet really quickly to set up your account. We can click Set up your Akismet account. It's going to ask you to log in with WordPress.com, so you'll have to create a free account if you don't have one. Akismet is just hosted at WordPress.com for some reason, and then they'll give you a key to put in right here in your WordPress dashboard. So when you have a few minutes after you watch the video, make sure to take care of this step. Alright, we're going to go back to plugins, and we're going to see that there's a Bluehost plugin here. So we're going to keep that one because it lets you easily go back and forth between your Bluehost control panel and your WordPress dashboard. Next we have Google Analytics by Monster Insights. We're going to deactivate that one because I'm going to show you how to manually add WordPress with Google Analytics the old-fashioned way so you actually know how it all works and you don't just use a plugin to do it. Alright, next we have Hello Dolly. We don't need that one, it's just a fun little quote that goes in the upper right corner, usually from a jazz musician. Below that we have Jetpack. We're going to deactivate that because we don't want to use really many tools at all from WordPress.com except for Akismet. Then we have Opt-in Monster. We're going to deactivate that one. Although I do use that on my Dear Blogger blog to collect subscribers. It's one of the coolest pop-up plugins. We're already using Smash Balloon for our Instagram, so don't touch that one. Keep it activated. And then WP Forms Lite, we can deactivate that one as well. Alright, now that our plugins are cleaned up a little, we just want to make sure we delete the ones we're not using. Again, there's no harm deleting them, and you can get them all back right here in your WordPress plugin library if you want later on. Very good, guys. So when you refresh your plugins page, you now should have a screen that looks sort of like mine here, Akismet, Bluehost, and Smash Balloon. And now it's time to install the main plugin that the Alder theme uses to add tons of new features like you see on the demo site right here. And that would be Alder Core. So let's click Add New and do a quick search for Alder Core and hit Enter. So the Alder Core plugin is actually so specific that it's not available through most people's default WordPress plugin libraries, but thankfully it's one of the plugins they've notified us that they recommend right here. So all you need to do is click Begin Installing Plugins up top. I'm going to click in the upper left for the bulk, select all, and then from the actions we're going to hit Install and click Apply. And sit back and watch as your WordPress blog becomes that much more powerful. Alright, once these are done installing, we're going to go back to plugins, and we'll probably need to activate each individual plugin. So that's pretty easy, just hit Activate, and Activate, and Activate, and lastly Activate. And all these plugins are recommended by Alder, so they should do wonders for our site. So congrats, now you have a complete awesome looking plugins list. We might need to get a couple more on the fly as we build our site, but at least you know how plugins work and a lot more than just the general explanation that they increase the functionality of your site. So let's make use of a plugin right now. We can see the next step on our demo website, if we go from top to bottom, is to add our social media icons. And we can easily do that right now just by going to our WordPress blog, hovering on appearance and clicking customize. So that's another way to get to the customize window. And now we can see a few more tabs here. So we can scroll down and click social media settings. And now it's really easy to just add in your social profiles and get a lot more fans to your channels. The one tip we need to remember here though is that you don't need to put in the full link to your Facebook, Twitter, so on and so forth. If you do, you're going to get a not found result like this. All you need to do is put in whatever comes after the facebook.com when you're on the right page. So for example, if we want to put in a group page, all we need to copy and paste in WordPress is whatever comes after the .com and after this little slash. So that's going to be just groups/dearblogger. So we could paste that in for the Facebook box. For Twitter, that would just be your username. So in my case, it's Greg Narayan. And you don't even need the @ symbol. So keeping it super simple with just the text. For Instagram, that's just my handle, Naraga. And for YouTube, we can get a little more clever. I'm going to go to Dear Blogger, which is my blog these days, and it's where a lot of cool bloggers write as well. And we're going to right click on the YouTube icon, copy link address, and I'm just going to show you how to add a custom YouTube subscription link. So here we can just paste in that entire link I copied. And again, we only want to insert what comes after the .com/. So that means we're going to delete the whole http blah 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 youtube.com/ part and leave it like so. And now publish, and we can refresh our site and see that the social icons are showing up, and we'll just click them to test them out. So it's super cool. Make sure that you don't insert the whole link when you add your social media icons, but instead you just add your username. Alright, next up, our website needs a menu here. We can see on the demo site there's home, features, lifestyle, travels, shop, about, and contact. And we're not going to get that elaborate, but we do need basic pages like a home page, about, and contact. And shop will add itself later on when we set up our e-commerce online store. Okay, so the first thing we need to do before we can create a menu is actually just create pages. So to add pages, we can be back in WordPress, and we're going to X out of customize. And we're just going to hover on the skinny nav at the top and click page. Or you could also go to pages, add new. So those are just two ways of doing the same thing. Let's go to pages, add new, because that's the old-fashioned way of doing it. Alright, and so right away it's going to look super weird. It's going to say, welcome to the wonderful world of blocks. I'm going to stop you there because we don't want to use blocks. This is the new WordPress Gutenberg editor that makes building a website in WordPress a lot like Squarespace or other sites that are considered modern. So WordPress had to create something that was as good, if not better. But what we want is just the generic post and page editor in WordPress. So to get that, we're going to go to plugins, add new, do a quick search here with me for classic editor, or don't even search because it's so popular. It's right here. Just install the classic editor. Cool, and activate. So 5 million plus active installations. Obviously people like doing it the old-fashioned way. Now we can go to pages, add new again. And the screen looks like it should. Okay, so the first page I'm just going to make is just going to be an about page. And we are going to publish it and go ahead and add content later on in the tutorial. Or you can drop in a little about you, mission statement, goals, that sort of stuff right now, if you like. We're going to click add new again, and we're going to go with contact, which will become our contact us page with a map and a contact form later on in the video. And that's really good for now. Alright, so to put these pages in a nice little menu, just like the demo site right here, we're going to go back to WordPress, hover on appearance, and click menus. So this screen, in my opinion, is the most confusing screen for people who haven't used it yet. It's like, what am I even looking at? It's just a bunch of boxes, and then this is where we're supposed to edit stuff. Huh? Well, I'll show you how to make it all work right now. So the first thing we want to do is give it a name, which is just going to be like main menu or something basic, and create menu. Next up, WordPress is guessing what sorts of links we might want in our menu here, and it's actually done a pretty good job because it has home, about, and contact. So we can first learn how to delete one of these tabs. You just open it up and click remove, and it's gone, and then save it. But let's say you didn't have your about and your contact in here because WordPress didn't do a good job guessing. Well, you can choose them on the left-hand side by checkboxing them and clicking Add to Menu. Cool. And then you can click and drag to change their orientation. And you can also make a drop-down menu by indenting. Alright, awesome guys. You can also make categories. So maybe you have a bunch of blog posts about fashion or about fitness, and you want a list of them to show up when someone clicks on fashion or fitness. Well, you can do that with a category. And finally, we have custom links, which is where you would add your homepage. So if you didn't have a homepage right here, the way you'd add a link to the home is to go to your homepage, right-click on your domain name, come back to menus, and we're going to click custom links. We're going to paste in your full domain name and URL, and then we're going to add link text of home and add to menu. And drag to the top because that's standard format. And perfect. So now we just need to select a display location, primary menu, and save it. And when we refresh our site, we will have our first menu. Great job. So popping back over to our demo site that we're building now, we can see that we have social icons, we have a cool menu, and this little cart icon will come later on. And the last thing we have to do with our navigation menu is just put it beneath our Instagram header. However, I just spent about 10 minutes trying to figure out how to do that, and I can't quite get it. So if you guys can do it, I would love if you could write a comment and let us all know how to get that Instagram header above the navigation menu so it looks perfect. I can't find it. And in the interest of time, we're going to keep building, and then hopefully one of you guys will comment and we can go ahead and change the position of these two elements. So if you can find that setting, let us all know in the comments and I'll find some cute little way to reward you. Okay, so moving down, we are going to need a logo. Let's go ahead and make a custom logo for our site, even though it's kind of cool they gave us this older logo. To add a logo, I always like starting at logomaker.com. That's LOGOMAKR without the E.com. Alright, once you're here, we can click away from the video. And first, we just want to search from a graphic. So I really want the blog to be a travel blog, and for that reason, I'm going to go ahead and search for a jet or an airplane, that sort of thing. Alright, cool, and you get really more examples of icons than you could ever want. Alright, so once you search for a little bit at all your icons, and you could search something else, like really any keyword you can think of, then you're going to settle on an icon, and I really like this one up top because it just makes me think of a nice, cool private jet just floating through the sky, taking you wherever you want to go. So we're going to grab it, and it'll come into our panel here, and we can see it's really easy to just click and drag and move it. Alright, you can also click on the corners and make it bigger, and they have these helpful aligning lines. Looking good. Now we just need some text, so let's click on that T, and I'm going to start typing something. Well, that something is going to be bluehostsetup.com because that's the name of our domain name, and in most cases, I think the title of your site should match your domain name. Plus, it describes what we're doing here. We're setting up an awesome blog at Bluehost, the best web hosting. Okay, so here we go with our text. We're going to position it next to our icon, but not too close. Obviously, we don't want any overlap unless it happens to look good that way. Which it could really, I guess maybe it does. To change the font, we can go up to the drop down for simple and modern and change it to something cool like handwriting. And then you're going to get more drop down options on the right. So go ahead and play around to your heart's content. Don't go too crazy here. After all, your logo should be clear and easy for your readers to process. Alright, so I really like Happy Monkey. I think it's just the right amount of style for me right now. I'm going to make it a little bigger. And then what I'm going to do is change the color of both the text and the icon. To do that, you just want to have one of them selected, like right now we're selecting the text. Now click on your color wheel, and it will change to match wherever you point and click. We can check out our site to see what kind of colors are prominent right now. So it's going to be kind of tans, lighter grays, blacks, maybe even like a pink. So let's go with that direction here. Just to make it easy on ourselves. I'm going to try to go with like a nice orangish pink color. And then you can do the same thing for the icon itself. We can click on our airplane icon, and we can change that to maybe a slightly darker version of what we just chose. And bear with me if it looks crazy at first. I think our vision will hold true once we get it done right. Alright, almost there guys, and one rule of thumb is to definitely have the first text, first letters of your logo be clear. So we don't want that B cut off or something weird like that. We want it to be super clear, the first letter of your text. Alright, and we nailed it. So you might want to add more icons. Of course you can do that. You can go as crazy as you want. There are so many different options. Once you have your logo looking perfect, all you need to do is just crop it on the lower right to get rid of that unnecessary white space. So this looks good. We'll bring in a little more. White space is always just going to be a pain in the butt in WordPress, so get rid of it. And now hit enter to confirm the crop, and we're going to click the save floppy disk icon to save it. Alright, now we're going to say no thanks and name our logo. So logo version 1 sounds good, and save it. And there are instructions here for giving credit to Logo Maker, so please make sure to follow these steps and add credit once you're done uploading your logo. Where it says note credit is required, just click follow this guide. And we can scroll down and say that for a website, what you need to do is copy and paste some text like this, and then make a credits page, and then link that to Logo Maker URL. So back in WordPress, I know it's an additional step, but you should have this page always going forward, is hover on new and click page. Call it credits, then come down and we're going to paste that text. Beautiful, and then we're going to link that to Logo Maker. So the way you add a link is just by first getting the link. So we're going to get the link to logomaker.com, which is just logomaker.com. Copy that. Now in WordPress, we're just going to highlight this whole piece of text, click on the link icon to add a link, and then paste your URL. Click the gear to make this open in a new tab, and click update. And publish that credits page. Awesome. Great job. And make sure the credits page is displayed somewhere prominently, just like they request you to do so. Okay, now to upload our logo, we're going to go back to WordPress and hover on appearance and click customize, where we're spending a lot of our time here. And now we're going to go to header and logo settings and click select image under upload logo. Now select files, and WordPress will search your computer where you're doing your work from, and it should find logo version 1. Just click open, alright, and click choose image. And hopefully it works, and it did. Awesome, great job guys. So we now have our own custom logo. Of course you can add any icons you want. I just kind of like it because there's an airplane, and it also symbolizes like launching something or starting a new journey, which you might be doing today with your new blog at Bluehost. And by the way, I'm sure you guys can make a way better logo than this. Alright, let's publish. X out and check out the homepage and see what we made. Great job, we're really cruising now. Next up, our Alder demo site has this awesome featured post grid showcasing different posts from different categories like lifestyle and travel. So let's go ahead and see how to make this. We can go back to our own site that we're building here, and we're first going to need a few blog posts. So let's come to the top navigation, hover on new and click post. And if you're on your dashboard, you could just go to posts, add new as well. Same thing. So this really isn't a tutorial about blog posts and writing a ton of blog posts, but I will tell you 3 blog posts that every new blog should have, which has allowed our readers a lot of success who've used this strategy. So the first type of post you need is a welcome to the blog post. On a post like this, you can convey your mission statement. So, hi world, my mission statement is to teach you all how to create any kind of blog with WordPress, or something like that. And then it's a good time to explain a little bit about you. You're the writer, so that would be about me, and then also about you guys, like about your audience. You should explain what type of readers should visit your blog and who you're going to write to. And then yeah, anything else you want to say on the welcome to the blog post is fair game. I'm going to go ahead and get us some pan ipsum, which will help us fill in this page and show how the blog post will actually look when it's done. So you can grab any words like archaic words, super cool, and then you can just copy the words from here, and you can go ahead and paste them in your post right here. To insert a quote, just make yourself a space, then highlight the text you want to go inside your quote and click on the quote for a block quote. Awesome. It might grab too much text. If it does that, you can just go ahead and go to the text tab. Take the ending block quote tag like this and just put it in the right place like this. And then go back to visual. If you want even more WordPress editing tools similar to Microsoft Word, just click and open the kitchen sink or toggle toolbar, and you'll get all these cool tools like font color, strike through, and so on and so forth. Lastly, you can make some headers by highlighting the text and clicking paragraph and then choosing like heading 2. Usually you don't want to choose heading 1 because that would be the post title, but anything from like 2 to 3 to 4 is a good structure for you to have. And it can really help your search engine optimization if you put the right words in your headings. Our post also needs a category, so let's go with updates and add new category. And then let's get ourselves a featured image. And to do that, we can go to my favorite site for awesome images called pixabay.com. For some reason, I was looking up living room, so I brought us to this page. What you can do is go to the home page and search for any sort of cool, creative nature or human interaction or just a workspace or whatever you want. So I'm going to try mountains. I'll get some really beautiful images of mountains. You can just click on one that you like. Once you find a good image, you can just click free download. Choose the size of it, so usually like a bigger image, and click download. And it's going to ask us to log in, so I'll just do that, and I'm already logged in through Facebook most of the time. So Pixabay is free, it's super awesome. Just make sure you give credit to the photographer themselves. And download. We're going to name this image Mountains Blog Post and save it. Now we're going to jump back over to the WordPress post, and on the lower right you'll see Set Featured Image. So click on that. Upload files like we did for our logo, but a little bit different. Select files. Find yourself your image and just double click it or click and open. You can give it an alt text tag here to increase the SEO of the image and explain it, which is also a good idea for disabled users who might use a screen reader. So, beautiful mountains in the evening. And then click Set Featured Image. And we're all set with our post. Let's go ahead and publish it and see how it looks. Awesome, guys. So we have our first post, which is the welcome to the blog post. If we click to the home page, we're going to see that our post should show up right there. There it is. Really cool. And we're going to make 2 more posts and then learn how to put them in that featured area up top. Okay, so now that we have one blog post live on our new WordPress blog at Bluehost, we're going to need to figure out how to get those other blog posts in the featured area at the top live. So how do we put a blog post to the right and another blog post to the right beneath it? Well, we have one blog post live, and before we can figure out the second and third blog posts, we need to actually create a second and third blog post. So let's go to New Post again. And I'll tell you that the second best post a new blog can have is going to be an ultimate guide. So in our case, because we're a travel blog, we'll do the ultimate guide to travel blogging. And then we can just go ahead and proceed with our ultimate advice. So in our case, we're going to go with the pan ipsum again, because we're really not trying to write the blog post here. That's up to you and your creativity, and I'm sure you can do something phenomenal. This would be a longer blog post though, so maybe we'll go with a little bit more of that ipsum. Copy that and bring it back. And beautiful. We also need a featured image, so let's grab one more image from Pixabay. Let's see what we can find if we search for one of the categories from this image, like sunset. Beautiful. Alright, this image is super cool. So I'm going to go with the free download and get a bigger image and download it. Alright, so we're going to go with couple at sunset and save it. And back in our new post, we can scroll down and set featured image like we learned before. Upload files, select files. And we're just going to double click on the couple at sunset. You can put in alt text if you want. I'm usually kind of lazy though at this point. And I'm just going to click set featured image. Alright, we're going to give it a category again of updates, and then we're going to click on publish. So in reality, the ultimate guide would be like all of your knowledge about one specific topic in your blogging niche, but in our case, our ultimate guide is just kind of like a placeholder. So let's see our blog now. We have 2 posts. Awesome. And we need 1 more post, and then we can set up that featured area. So let's go to new post. And I'll tell you that the third kind of post every blog should have when they launch is going to be a controversial piece. So I will just spell it out for you right here, controversial piece. And it's going to be something like that people don't expect within your niche, but that you know about. Like, for example, I wrote a post called The Truth About Premium Themes that did pretty well a few years ago. And I wrote a post basically exposing that certain themes like StudioPress and others charge way too much when they should only charge a certain amount, because a lot of premium themes are pretty much the same sort of coding. So you can check it out if you want to look at it through Google, but right now I will tell you that having a controversial piece really can set you apart as the expert, because it shows that you know something unique about your niche. Alright, let's grab some pen and some just to make our post come to life a little bit. Let's go back to Pixabay and click the X and search for one of the categories. And so you can really pick anything, but we want to have some sort of consistency. So let's pick another beach. Yeah, maybe something intriguing. This image is super cool and free download and download. Alright, we're going to call that one the futuristic beach and save it. And now add that as our featured image. We can scroll down, set featured image, upload, select, and double click it. And we will set the featured image. And category is updates again. And you can tell that the category doesn't totally make sense, but I'm just choosing the same category so that we can put one category as our featured post category. So let's publish it. And now we'll check out the blog, and let's go to finally the settings that will have us put a few posts at the top of the blog, like 1, 2, 3. Alright, so now we can go to customize and set up that featured post area. And it's actually just called the featured area. So we'll go to featured area settings and enable it. And we're going to go with the category of updates. It should include all 3 of our posts. Alright, and if you want, you could specify them by individual IDs. So what's a post or page ID? Well, I'll show you, but we're not going to choose that for now. We're just going to publish it because it looks good, and X out. And now we've created our featured area. So how cool is that? A lot of people spend tons of time figuring out how to put an image in at the top of their blog and then float another image to the right, and then put another image beneath that and make the spacing look good. But in our case, because we chose an amazing theme, all that works perfectly. You just have to know how to set it up, and now you do. And if you wanted to add a post ID for one of these different featured areas, what you do is you click to a post that you made, click edit, and you'll find that post ID at the top in the URL. Up here, it's just going to be this number that comes after post equals. And that would be the post ID. Don't ask me why it's a 56 or whatever it is for you, but it's just a number that counts like different IDs of different pieces of content that you upload to your blog. So images get IDs, posts get IDs, pages get IDs, and so on and so forth. Let's go back to our homepage. And you might notice that if we click on one of our posts, it doesn't look very good in the URL because we don't really want a question mark P equals up here. Instead, we want some keywords. So to put some keywords in your post links, we have to change our permalinks. And to do that, we have to go to our dashboard, then hover on settings and click on permalinks. And we're just going to choose post name, which is the simplest, most Google-friendly permalink setting, because it just puts the words that you chose for the title of the post in the URL, aka the link to the post, the URL. So that's perfect, and we're going to click save. And now we have Google-friendly blog post links. Alright, and we can see that those links now look a lot better. Alright, awesome guys. So the next section going down our demo site we want to create is our subscribe form. So how do we do that? Well, let's take a look. We can go back to customize, where almost everything seems to be going on now. And we're going to go down to the widgets and click on widgets, and then click on widget area under featured area. So here's our featured area, and we want to put a widget underneath it. So we're going to grab the widget area under featured area and click add a widget. And then hopefully there's an option for the subscribe form because I really don't feel like making one from scratch. All right. And here we are a little bit confused which widget to add for our subscribe widget. So I'm going to pop back over to our little SoloPine Tixie documentation. Thankfully there's one for how to set up Alder's newsletter widget. So we should call it a newsletter widget, not a subscribe widget, I guess. So it's going to say they come with custom stylings for MailChimp or WordPress. Allows you to insert a newsletter sign-up form in your sidebar or beneath the featured area, which we're going to do both. Yep, and this will add someone to your MailChimp email list, so you can build an email list, make money with email marketing, all that. And what we need to do is first sign up for MailChimp, step 1. Create an audience. There are exact steps for how to do that. Generate the key, and then install the plugin. And so a little bit of steps here. We got to do the sign up for MailChimp, install the plugin, sync everything, and then looks like we want to pop in some of this HTML code as well in the plugin's forms if we want to make it look really good. And then lastly, we have to add the widget. Wow, how about that? That's like 4 big steps. But let's tackle this entire MailChimp newsletter setup together, and I know we can do it because we've climbed bigger mountains together before. So first off, why don't you open the show more description beneath the video and click on the link I'll give you to MailChimp. And this just gives me a little bit of credit for sending you over to MailChimp, and I guess makes this whole process a little bit more worth it for little old me over here, I guess. That's to put it bluntly. Or you can just click on the MailChimp.com link here, but if you want to give credit to me, use that MailChimp link or any of the links in the description below. Thanks a ton. So here we are at MailChimp, and I'm guessing it's your first MailChimp, so we're going to first accept the cookies, and then we're going to sign up for free. All right, you're going to give them a unique email address and do the basic sign up process. That's a little too complicated for the username. How about just Dear Blogger and get started. All right, then they're going to confirm. So you're going to open up your email, wherever your email headquarters is. Give it a second if it doesn't show up right away. All right, and you might need to activate your MailChimp account from your spam folder. They might send that to your spam folder, but I just told Gmail it's not spam. All right, so we're going to open this up and click Activate Account once you receive this MailChimp email. I'm not a robot. And we're in. Awesome. So obviously we want the free plan. We can get 2,000 contacts with that, so it'll be great for your new blog business, and complete. All right, because they're an email marketing provider, they're going to ask some basic details. If it's a little bit much for you, then just try to breeze through this quickly. And you do need an address because of the laws of email marketing, but it can be like a PO box, so you can use different sorts of addresses. We're going to say no, we don't have an email list of subscribers yet because we're brand new, and continue. We'll leave the social media alone for now and continue, and then let's do just some really nice questions from MailChimp so they can get to know you better and provide you with like the best little recommendations. And it actually does work, so I'd go ahead and click yes or no to all those. And no email marketing because we have enough emails. All right, here we go. So now we're finally in MailChimp. Let's get our list set up and get that form onto WordPress like this, most importantly. So from MailChimp, we're going to click on Audience, and then click Manage Audience and View Audiences. And here we have the audience we just created today together. But if MailChimp didn't set you up with a default audience in the steps we just did, then go ahead and click Create Audience and just give them the basic information like your brand name and create that audience. So we're all set. We just need to go to our account page now. It's a little bit tricky, but we can do this together. Let's just click on our name in the upper right, and then click Account, and then hit Extras and API Keys. Beautiful. All right, so now we're going to scroll down, and it's going to say we have no API keys, so we need to create a key. And I'm not sure what a manual API key is, but we just want this normal key. Perfect. Now we can just double click and copy the whole key, just a bunch of letters and numbers, unique to your email list. And we're going to go back to WordPress. Okay, beautiful. So back in WordPress, we're going to X out of the customize area because we need to get to our plugins. Let's go to our dashboard. Man, our site is looking pretty. We're going to hover on plugins and click add new. And we're going to look up MailChimp. So there might be some random MailChimp plugins, but we just want the main one. And we can double check what it's called. It's just going to be called MailChimp for WP. So let's make that a little more specific. MailChimp for WP. And nailed it. So it's this one in the upper left. And we can click install now. For some reason that MC4WP threw me off. And click activate. Okay, we're almost there now. We're going to go to the settings for MailChimp. So here we are in the plugins, and a lot of times you'll get a settings link such as this little link right here, kind of hidden beneath the title. So click on that, and then right away you can pop in your API key. So great job. If you followed me through this part, you are almost there with your email marketing newsletter. You're going to be able to start creating newsletters, sending out ebooks, and monetizing everything. And the coolest thing is we're doing it for free. So let's save the changes. And now we're going to go to forms, or just form. There's form. Beautiful. All right, and we have, it looks like one form somewhere. Where is that form? Okay, we just need to click to form again. So here we are in form, and it's going to say, what's the name? All right, well, we'll call it Bluehost Setup Subscribe Homepage Form. I like being really detailed with my forms in case you use multiple. Like I have a Dear Blogger, then you can see which one performs the best over time. And add new form with that box checked, of course. Okay, beautiful. So it's going to give you a really nice default form with your email address. And while you might be able to edit this HTML in here and change things like what it says, like email address, you could write like blah blah, and they'll just write that in on the right for you in the little form preview. Let's go ahead and follow the directions and use the Alder code and see what it looks like. So we're going to copy this from the Solo Pine Tixie article and pop it in right here in form code. I'm just going to delete the code and paste the new code. Nice. So it looks good. They made us a cool join the family form. So we're going to stick with this form, and the final step we need to do to insert this newsletter onto our site is to go to widgets, add the MailChimp sign-up form to the widget area under our featured area or the sidebar. Okay, so let's make sure that we save changes, and now we can go back to customize and finish the job. Let's hover on appearance and click customize. All right, and we're going to go to widgets, widget area under the featured area, add a widget. Let's see if we have the MailChimp widget now, which we should. Where are you, widget? There it is. Nice. I was worried for a second. Click on that sign up form widget, and voila, we did it. Awesome. Congratulations, guys. And let's publish. And you might have a feeling like me now that we can kill two birds with one stone here by adding that subscribe widget, aka newsletter widget, to our sidebar like this. So we get one more piece of the puzzle completed. So let's do it. Let's go back and enter the sidebar widgets. And we are going to click add a widget. Go down and get the MailChimp subscribe form again. So the cool thing about widgets in WordPress is you can use them in as many places as you want. All right, and there she is. Awesome. Next up, to delete widgets from your sidebar, or anywhere really, it's just like when we made a menu. You just open up the tab and you click delete. So the ones we want to keep are going to be pretty few and far between. We have to make a lot of these from scratch. So let's go ahead and delete most of them, except for we're going to keep search and recent posts. And you can keep recent comments if you have comments, but we don't have them yet. So, why show off something that we don't have? And we're going to remove archives. And we're going to remove meta because that shows like a forward-facing front-end login, and we don't want people to see like a login link. And we can get rid of the categories and bring the MailChimp sign-up form to the top. Great job. So now you know how to delete and add new widgets and publish. So we can X out of customize now. And why don't we proceed to add the rest of our sidebar widgets? Let's go to our homepage and compare it to the demo site. So right now in our sidebar, we have our newsletter form, and we're going to keep the recent posts and the search bar. And the next thing we need to add is the About Me section. So to add the About Me section, it's not that complicated at all. We just need a title, and then we need the image here, and then we need some text beneath it. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go back to our Customize window again. And one of the easiest, most convenient widgets in WordPress, let's go back to widgets, is just the custom text HTML widget. So let's hit sidebar, add a widget, and then we're going to go down and grab the custom HTML, or you could grab instead the text. So let's try text. And we can see this is so nice because it gives us visual, which is just like writing in Microsoft Word, and it gives us text where you can write some custom HTML or paste in some custom HTML that another website generates for you. So what we need to do is just create it just as we want, like the demo site is. So we're going to say About Me. Alright, and then if you really wanted to be exact, you could grab like the images from this site by just right-clicking and save image as, and we could make exactly this older demo site. But in our case, hopefully you have some images from your own adventures. So I'm going to try to pull up just that, and I'm going to do that from Instagram. Alright, so there is us right here, my profile. And I'm really bad at like updating it and posting relevant pictures, so it might be kind of hard because for some reason I only post goofy ones. I don't post actual good pictures, and I get yelled at about that all the time. But why not just like one where we have myself and Dear Traveler? That looks good. So Instagram doesn't really let you like take images from it, but what you can do is screenshot anything. So I'm gonna hit Command-Shift-4 to get this little screenshot cropping device, and then we could just click wherever we want to start the image, hold and drag, and grab as much of the image as we want. Then let go, and it will go right to our desktop when you hear that camera sound. So now we can go back to WordPress and click Add Media, Upload Files, select Files, and that should be on our desktop. Screenshot, we can click space to preview it, that's the one, and hit open. So just a little trick you can use whenever you're browsing the web and you want to grab a photo super quick is to use that screenshot. And I think it's print screen on a PC. Alright, beautiful. So we're just going to click insert and post. Then we're going to write some text and a signature. Alright, insert and post. Now we're just going to need some text beneath it. So we can hit enter to get beneath the image. I'm just going to write, hi there, we're Dear Blogger and Dear Traveler. Welcome to our new blog. Alright, and then if you want to center it, you can highlight the text and click on, oh, we don't really have a centering option here because it's kind of limited. So what you can do is just go to text, and I'll teach you how to write a little custom CSS right here. What you can do is write open alligator bracket p style equals text dash align full colon, not semicolon, full colon, center, then semicolon, then close quote, then close alligator bracket, and close off the p at the end with that forward slash and the alligator brackets. And that will center your text. So that's how WordPress like writes out the code if you actually have the centering button. I've just seen it on the text side of things so many times that I know how to write it. Alright, let's go down and see what that looks like. So it's really coming along. One cool trick you can do is you can go to the text tab and make this image rounded. All you need to do that, now that we're writing a little custom CSS, is put your cursor right before the width part and write style equals open quotation mark, border dash radius, and then give it some pixel amount like 50. And there we go. It should give it a little bit of rounding, and it'll look a lot cooler if it's an exact square. Then your image will be able to become an exact circle. In this case, we have a rectangle, so the more we round it, the more it's just going to turn into sort of like a little circle tangle. But anyway, super cool. That's how to do that. That's how to make any one of your images have rounded edges. Alright, so the last thing we need in our little about section is a signature. Now to create your own signature like this, it's actually pretty simple. You can go to a tool like pixlr.com, click on Pixlr X, and then just go ahead and create a new image with a background which is white, and create. And then we're just going to use the paintbrush to go ahead and write out a little bit of cursive. Not cursive, but oh, too bad it's white. To click on the color and make it black. Black, there we go. And then, yeah, you can just try to write out, whatever you think is going to be cool. That's not cool. Oh gosh, this is tough. This is harder than I thought. Okay, well, hopefully you have a little bit better cursive skills than me, and if not, then you can just go ahead and draw it out on your phone using like your own finger. Once you've written out your text, go ahead and use that screenshot tool again. I'm going to hit Command-Shift-4, screenshot just the part we wrote on a nice white background. Now come back to WordPress and upload that image. So we're going to hit Enter, add media again, upload files, select files, and open up our latest screenshot. All right, and insert into post, and we're done. So that looks like pretty, childish, but it's good to be a kid every now and then. And you can center any image by clicking on top of it and hitting the center alignment button. All right, pretty cool. Adds a nice little personal touch. Next up in our sidebar, we can add our subscribe and follow section. So we're gonna make sure that we publish it with this other widget done. And now we can add a widget and go for the social icons. All right, so it's already called subscribe and follow, and it should already know that it's going to include some of our social channels. All right, and if you look at the demo site, it was really that easy, and you can go crazy if you want to include all these other ones like Bloglovin, Google+. I don't think that exists anymore, but it was great when it did. And yeah, so you look like even more popular with more icons. And publish. Next in our sidebar, we're going to add the lifestyle and travel boxes. So let's close up the social icons and add a widget. And these are promo boxes. All right. So it looks like the promo boxes don't get a title. We're just going to give them a text, link, and background image. So we need a couple more images, and we're going to go to Pixabay to grab those. Let's click X, and let's grab one of our other categories here. Super cool. So I really like these images on Pixabay. They're just super soothing, and it's good to look at an image and just be able to relax every now and then. So we're going to go with the wolf, free download, download. Alright, so wolfy moon, save it, and then we're going to go back because I really like this sailboat image too. We're going to get that one, free download, download, and save it. Alright, now come back to WordPress. And because it wants the background image URL, we have to actually find that URL for it. So we can open up our site in a new tab by just opening up any tab. Go into Bluehost setup where we're building. And now we're just going to need to go to New Media, select Files, and grab those two images we just downloaded. I'm going to Command to grab both of them at the same time, and Open to do a bulk upload. Alright, and then you want to get the image URL, right? So you can do that by clicking Edit on any image, and WordPress will automatically generate a file URL, aka an image URL. So we can just copy this whole URL that I've highlighted and come back to our Customize window and paste it in. Awesome. Now let's see what sort of text the demo site used. So it's things like lifestyle, travels, perfect. So lifestyle. And the idea here would be that you make this link go to the lifestyle category of posts on your blog. That would be the promo link to use. We can also make that box a little bit taller if we want to see that wolf, which I do. And we've made our first promo box, so great job. We can repeat that one more time, or really as many times as you want. You could have like 5 promo boxes if you have all sorts of content, which I'm sure you will someday, by clicking Add a Widget, promo box again. Now we're going to go to our other image and click Edit, and we're going to grab the file URL, copy, and back in our Customize window, we're going to paste in that background image URL. And this would be travel. We're going to make that height consistent of 160, and you are in business. So, beautiful. How easy is that? Alright, really cool. And publish. So next up on our sidebar is the Find Us on Facebook like box, which gives a lot of people trouble, but it's not going to give you an ounce of trouble because you're going to learn how to add Facebook to WordPress right here. So we can go to our customize and let's see just for fun if we add widget if there's a Facebook like box, and there is. Cool. So let's click on that. And should be all you need to do is just add your Facebook page URL, which in my case is just facebook.com/dearblogger. Alright, and let's see if it gets it. And it does. Cool. So in other videos we've had to like go to the Facebook page URL, page plugin is what it's called, and copy the code from this page and paste it into WordPress, but now it doesn't have to be that difficult at all because we just use the Alder theme and the tools it gives us. Alright, that's where the Facebook stuff came from. And in our case, you're good to go. And now people can like your blog in line with your content. They don't have to leave your blog, which is really important. Alright, publish. And lastly on our sidebar, we have the Instagram widget because we already have our latest post. So let's add Instagram to our sidebar. Let's go back to customize and add another widget, which you're getting really good at here. And we're going to grab the, can never find Instagram. Where is Instagram? You know what it is? It's going to be, we have to use the code again. So let's go back and open up the Instagram header, custom HTML, and let's just copy this part again. And let's put it in our sidebar. So sidebar, add widget, and then we're going to use, of course, the custom HTML widget. Sorry, Greg's bad at finding widgets, and paste that in our sidebar. Let's see how that looks. Alright, so I don't really like how it's wide across the screen. I'd much rather have it be a nice grid box like it is in the demo. And to change that, we can actually just edit the shortcode. And I'll show you how to edit some more code. We already know how to write our own little custom CSS and HTML, but this will help us edit a WordPress shortcode. So let's try to put in a 3 there. Awesome. And then we're going to add a little padding. Let's try 5. So padding is white space in between images. Awesome. And now it's starting to look really cool, a lot like the demo. So I think we're good. We just have to make it follow at Instagram. You can even add, follow at your handle. Obviously that's what people do, like follow me. They put it on YouTube, everywhere, on the TV. And yeah, that is your own little Instagram on your blog. And publish. Great job. Alright guys, I believe our sidebar is done. Let's close this. We just need to add the images to our recent posts. We're going to open that. And okay, I'm not sure how to add images right now, but that's not a big deal because having just a list of posts is pretty standard format. If you do figure out how to add the images there, let me know. That's like our second task. The first one was to move the Instagram header and the navigation menu, and the second one I'm going to give you is to try to find how to add images to our recent posts. That would be cool now that I think of it. Alright, in any case, we can just reorder those sidebar widgets to our heart's content. Like maybe we will make the search bar the first one and make the recent post further down. Bring the Facebook one up so people can like us. And yeah, beautiful. And publish. And our sidebar is done. Great job. Okay, so we can click back to our homepage and see that our sidebar is looking good, but it wouldn't be complete without a Google advertisement from Google AdSense. So before we move away from our sidebar, let's add that Google ad. It's going to take a little time to show up, so we might as well do it sooner rather than later. And I'm going to also close up a bunch of tabs up here to give ourselves some more space. And then we can visit AdSense.com, where you can sign up for free to Google AdSense and start making money from blogging. All you need to do is click Get Started, but I'm already in, so I'm going to click Sign In. By the way, having a WordPress website and being over 18 years of age is going to be pretty much the criteria to get in. You also have to have some content on your website. So it's like those 3 things: having a website, being of age, and having some content which should get you in. And if that doesn't, then let me know in the comments and I'll help you out. I'll send an email to the right people and we'll get you into AdSense, guaranteed. As you can see, I'm earning about 500 and change per month, which is not a ton. Obviously, if you're PewDiePie or Zoella, you have a WordPress site, but you're also really famous, you're making probably more like 100 times this amount per month. But you know, it's not bad. It pays for a little bit here and there. Gives me some money to hit the movies every month. So to get your ad set up, you just want to click on Ads on the left, and then it's going to show you this screen so you can let Google place ads for you, which is exactly what we want to do. Alright, so we're going to create a new ad, and to do so, we're going to click By Ad Unit. And then for Create New Ad Unit, we can click Display Ads, which is the most popular and recommended. And it's going to show us what the ad might look like, so you could have some text or some image and some text. You can also choose the orientation, like wide or vertical, but square seems to be good for us because we're going to put it in the sidebar. So let's just click Create. Oh, we need to name it, so I'm going to call it Bluehost Setup Ad and click Create. Alright, awesome. So we have this code we can paste in between the body tags. In other words, that just has to go in your sidebar. So I'm going to highlight everything from the script to the script and copy it. And it says it usually takes a few minutes for ads to appear on the page, but occasionally it can take up to an hour. So if you don't see the ad right away, then that's why. We're going to go back to our site and click Customize. And then we're going to go to our widgets, sidebar, add widget, and we can sneak on down to the custom HTML. I'm never very good at finding them, and click plus on custom HTML. Alright, and then we're going to paste in that code from Google. And you can call it something if you want, like Google Ad, but in our case, I'm just going to leave it blank. So here it is. It's not going to show up right away, but what we're going to do actually is add another widget, another custom HTML, and make two ads so that they're both working hand in hand and they will both start to show up. Once one of them starts to show up, they will both start to show up. And that way we can drag one of them up top and leave one of them down below so that your audience has two chances to click on an ad. And when they do so, you'll earn anywhere between $1 and about $18, depending on whether your site is about something less profitable, like cat food, or how to navigate outer space, or how to clean up a living room, versus something more profitable, like advice on investing, or real estate, or how to make money online. So we're just going to let those ads do their thing, and they should be coming in by the time we're done with the tutorial. And when we X out, you want to also make sure that your ad blocker is not running. So I have this ad block on most sites now, and I'm going to say don't run on pages on this site and exclude, so we know that we'll see our ads when we should see them. Alright, we'll let those take a little bit of time now, and we're going to move on in the tutorial. Click Done. So the next step I want to show you how to do is how to edit our footer. The footer is really important to put some last little messages people can read, and also to affiliate market our theme here. Alright, so to edit our footer, we're going to go back to Customize. And then we're going to scroll on down to Footer Settings. And here we are with the copyright. We can see we right away need to change the footer left text and the footer right text. So let's do it. So first of all, we want to make this copyright 2020, or whatever year it is you're watching this in, whether it's 2025 or 2030, I'm not sure. Can't predict the future. But either way, having all rights reserved is a good thing. Beautiful, and then down below is where the really important stuff happens. So it's going to say site by solopine.com, and that reads Solopine Designs. But what I want you to write is site created with Solopine themes. Alright, you're going to write that, and then what we're going to do is we're going to open up an affiliate panel for Solopine themes. And if you look up Theme Forest Affiliate Panel, alright, and you click to the affiliate program terms, it's going to be pretty useless, but if we click to the Market Affiliate Program, then we get the button to become an affiliate now, which you want to click, and then you can become an affiliate with impact, You're going to submit an application, it's going to go through, and someone at Envato is going to accept your application, hopefully to impact Envato affiliates, and that is where I do most of my business nowadays, so I'm confident it'll work for you. Once you're on the inside at Impact, you will get your own create a link option for Envato Market, and it's super easy. All you need to do is enter a landing page where you want people to go. So what we can do is Google Solo Pine Envato Market, where you should get a link to all of the Solo Pine themes in their profile on ThemeForest, which would show someone all the themes. There's Alder, there's Laurel, Sprout and Spoon, Redwood. There are so many cool themes. And all you need to do is copy this link at the top, go back to Impact, paste it in the landing page option, click Create. It's going to be this cool one.envato market with some symbols, and that is your own custom affiliate link. So you need to just click to copy it, then come back to WordPress, and we're going to paste this in the Ahref tag. So instead of going to solopine.com, which is a good option, it's going to go to Envato so you can affiliate market these awesome themes, which is a better option. That way you benefit from getting a commission if someone buys a theme, and also Solopine benefits from getting the theme sale. So it's a win-win, and it's a win for your readers too, because they get to use the awesome theme that you have shown them is a good theme. Let's publish that, and also, by the way, if you want to get clever, which we do, we can add a target equals underscore blank, so it opens in a new window. Cool, and publish. And X out, and let's see what we made. So go down to our home page, footer, and any page that we have on our site will show this footer. We're going to click on that link and immediately get taken to Solopine, and now someone can go ahead and buy and you'll earn that commission. Awesome. Alright guys, so now that our footer is done, we are going to move on to our About and Contact page. So to create our About page, you just want to click on the About page through the menu, and then we can click Edit Page at the top. So a page is different from a post in that a page is static. It'll just sit wherever you put it in WordPress. It won't get archived in the midst of other posts. But in terms of ranking in Google, pages are just as good as posts at ranking in Google. It's basically just another piece of content, but the way WordPress organizes it is what makes it a little different. Alright, awesome. So we can add some media to our page. Cool. And we're just going to go with like one of our original photos here and insert in the page. And then you can hit enter and write, this is my About page. Welcome. Here you will learn about my new blog. You might also learn how to start a blog, or even why to start a blog, and get all theoretical on them. Blah, blah, blah. I hope we can become friends on the social media networks. Okay, so that's probably enough writing for now. You get the picture, and we can update our page. Alright, and then when we view the page, you'll see your changes. If the image is too small for you, you can edit the page and click on the image itself and drag and make it bigger, and then update. And then view page. And voila, we have an image that covers the whole screen. Alright, that's not too creepy, I hope. Yeah, I really do hope we can be friends on social media, because we share advice on how to start a blog and help people every day. And, the more the merrier, because that way everyone can help each other learn what they know about blogging. Alright guys, so the next page we want to create is the contact page. Let's click contact. And now we need to add a map and a contact form. So to add our map, we can go to Google Maps right here in Google. Click on Google Maps, and then we're going to look up our business. So here's my home right here in Lake Calhoun, aka Lake Bede-Makaska. No one can really pronounce it though, it's kind of tough. But where I usually work is at Chelsea Market. Guess it's becoming less and less because I don't live in New York anymore. But when I'm around, you can find me here, eating and bustling around. And to get your map location wherever you are, you just need to click Share, Embed a Map, And Google has created this little friendly iframe, which is perfect for WordPress. So just click in the iframe tab and it'll highlight, and you can copy it and then come back to contact and edit page. And all you need to do is just go to the text tab to paste in some third-party code from Google and right click and paste it. And beautiful. And while we're here, we're going to add a contact form. To do that, we need to open up our site in a new tab because we're going to go to the plugin library. So we're going to hit Dashboard, Plugins, and then we're going to add new and do a search for contact form 7. All right, and then it's already active on our blog, so we just need to go to plugins. But if it's not active, go ahead and start using it. This is the most popular contact form plugin for WordPress, and I'll show you why. So we can just go to settings, and it's awesome because it gives us this default shortcode. You don't need to do any work, and less is more here. You just need to click on the shortcode like I just did, right click copy, come back to a page and right click paste, make a space, and voila, you have a contact form with a map. So I'm going to give this a little description. Right here, I'm just going to write, come visit us anytime, and then feel free to reach out. And that's all you really need. And update. And of course, you can be more elaborate if you want to write a little more or some cute little note. But we can just view page and see that the basics of our contact page are perfect now. We have a working map that someone can search right here in line with your blog. They don't have to go anywhere to check out your location. Or maybe see some nearby restaurants like, ooh, Bathtub Gin, that sounds good. Or someone can just write to you in your contact form beneath your map. Beautiful. Let's test it out. So when someone writes in their name, like James, which is my alter ego, and then their email, dearblogger.org, subject, blog post, and then message like, hey, I want to write a post for you because your blog is becoming so popular, you're going to get guest posts. Then they click send. It'll say thank you. So that's how it works. Nice confirmation message, super professional. And then when we go to Gmail, and I just got it on my phone, in fact, right here, you're going to see a new message from your website saying exactly what someone wrote to you. So perfect. That's how people can reach out to you, super professional, and it all works. And voila. So in addition to our map and form, every contact page I think should have a picture of something pleasing, and usually it's just a picture of someone on a computer that works just to sort of incentivize someone to write to you or picture you writing to them. So let's go to Pixabay and let's get one of those such images. So let's look up workspace. That seems to be a really good keyword on Pixabay. Then you're going to get any number of cool computer photos, and you can just choose whichever one is most appropriate for you. Or if you want, go ahead and create your own stock photo, taking a picture of your own desk. And you can also click into a picture and go ahead and categorize it deeper to find the perfect one. So I really like this picture because it's a startup and it shows people actually doing work. But if you look hard enough, you'll see other photos from our videos or even from demo WordPress themes as well, like Sydney, for example. So I'm going to grab this photo, free download, give it a title and save it, and now come back to our contact page, edit page. So you can add an image right here to the page itself, or you can add a featured image. Let's see what happens if we set featured image. Upload, select, grab our working blogger, then set the featured image, and update the page. And we can view the page, and it looks good. Alright, so our contact us page is done. Let's do one more step to get our Google advertisement showing because it's been a little while and we're wondering where are those ads? Well, if we go back to AdSense in your new account, you might see this little step for create an ads.txt file. We didn't used to do that, say 2 or 3 years ago when we put AdSense on a site, but now this is an additional step we have to complete. So I'm going to go ahead and click Add Site, and make sure that AdSense knows about our new site called bluehostsetup.com. Just going to copy the URL and then paste that in right here, and then hit next. Connect your site to AdSense. All right, copy and paste this code in the HTML of your site between the head tags. So here we have a little code that AdSense nicely generated for us, and we can just click copy. Beautiful. So how do we put code in the head of our site? Well, we really don't want to edit the coding files of our site if we don't have to. Those are the files that live, if we click to our dashboard, over in Appearance Theme Editor. And I mean, you can change these files if you're comfortable with HTML, but it's going to try to dissuade you from editing them. So what we can do instead is add a plugin that lets us put new code into our site. So let's hover on plugins and click add new and search for insert headers and footers. One of the most simple but truly beautiful plugins created by the nice folks at WP Beginner. So here it is. We'll install now, and we're going to click activate. Now when we go to our settings, we'll see a new area for insert headers and footers, so your WordPress blog became even more powerful. And you can go ahead and paste that AdSense generated code in the top box for scripts in header and save it. So that should please the AdSense page, and once we do that, we're just going to wait a few seconds, 1, 2, 3, and hit submit. Alright, so it says it's going to take a little time, unfortunately, and we're just going to go to setup ads, and I'm going to try to refresh our site. So it's kind of cool. Google AdSense now offers this little automatic auto ads thing where they'll automatically show ads on your site in the best places, and you can just apply that now that we have the code on our site. But before we do so, let's go ahead and see if the ads are showing up now. Scroll down and see that nope, nothing there yet. So in the interest of time, I'm going to go ahead and turn on this auto ads thing and see if it works. And then one of those two options, the manual ads we put in our sidebar, or this auto ads should start working sooner or later. So let's click auto ads and then click apply to site. And now it says success, change can take up to an hour. So that'd be a little sooner for ads to show up on our site, which is good. Alright, auto ads are on, and we are going to just give it a little more time while we finish working. In any case, I want you to get ads on your site quickly. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to earn, $100, a couple hundred, or even $1,000 a month if you put in the work. It's not easy and it takes time, but it certainly is possible, and there's no reason you can't get to that point if you blog regularly and just put the hours in. Now that we're doing googly stuff, we can also add Google Analytics to your WordPress blog in the way that pros have been doing it for years. So in this case, we don't want to use a special plugin because plugins are heavy, they take up too much space, and Google Analytics gets a little feisty if there's the wrong plugin dealing with it. So we're just going to go directly to the Google Analytics site. Alright, and I already have an account, but you'll need to create one for free, and then you can basically just follow along with the buttons I click. So once you're inside your new account, so don't worry about this is a really old website that I think I deleted. So once you're in your account, you're going to want to go to admin, and then we're going to go to create property. So a property is like a new website, and we're going to measure your website. So perfect, and come down and click continue. We're going to give it a name, so Bluehost Setup Tutorial, and then we're going to do website URL. So it's just your domain name. Alright guys, getting there now. We're just going to paste that in, and we can get rid of the front part, which is the HTTP with the slashes. Industry or category doesn't really matter that much, but let's just go with what we are, which is an education site. But let's just go with what we are, which is blogging, so... But let's go with the standard blogging, and they don't have it, so I guess that would fall into hobbies and leisure. Alright, and then we click create. So it's going to give you tracking code for your new property, aka your new Google Analytics website. All you need to do is copy this code that they set up for you, kind of like how we do with AdSense. And it says we got to put this in the head of every web page, so we can just go back to WordPress, go to our dashboards, and come back to settings, insert headers and footers, and just make a space beneath this AdSense code, and you can paste in the analytics code. Alright, scroll up and make sure there is in fact that space after the script. And save it. And that should connect your site to Google Analytics, and that'll also work for verifying your site in Google Webmaster Central, if you want to do that later on down the road. Alright, so we're going to give it a little bit of time, but then you should start being able to see some traffic here and what it'll look like if we go to One of my real sites I manage is, let's see here, let's go to the home now that we're into your Blogger. Alright, so that was the wrong one. Let's go to this to your Blogger. There we go. And so it'll look something like this with a nice little graph and some numbers for users, sessions, bounce rate, session duration, and all sorts of words that Google just expects us to learn right away. So have fun becoming a master of Google Analytics. It really is a good skill, and it's one you can put on your resume if you want to get a job in the field of web content or analytics. Okay, so now that we've worked through a few Google AdSense and Google Analytics items on our site, we are nearing the end of this tutorial, but I want to show you a cool logo technique. So a lot of the times people have two logos on their site, one for like mobile, one for desktop, one for even tablet, and it just gives people something fresh to look at because it's a slightly different logo. So I'm going to show you how to use PicMonkey to style our logo even further and give your audience something new and fresh to look at next time they visit your site. So now that we already have our logo on our computer, we can just upload it to PicMonkey and make some cool changes. To get PicMonkey started, go ahead and click Show More beneath the video and hit the link for PicMonkey that I'll leave you in the description. If there's any discounts available, I will most certainly make sure you get those. Alright, they have a new version of PicMonkey, but we're going to use the old one because I always like the classic version. And once you're inside PicMonkey, it's going to look sort of like this. The way I like starting is by hovering on Design and getting ourselves a custom size. So you can choose any size canvas in pixels and make it. And make sure to enable Flash and run it. Okay, cool. So once we have our blank canvas, we can click on the butterfly and add a graphic. So we're going to add our logo that we already made with Logo Maker, which is logo version 1, and open it. Alright, and what we're going to do now is just add some descriptive text beneath it. So nothing fancy. There are a lot of fancy tools here, but we're just going to add some text. So I'm going to click Text. That's the TT. And just add text. And then I'm going to click in the middle of the box and write learn how to create a blog. Pretty simple. And then we're just going to drag it so it's a little wider so all the text is on one line. And ideally I want to fit our text somewhere beneath the logo. Alright, so what do we got to do? We got to make it smaller, and probably a better font could help. To make our text smaller in PicMonkey, you can just go ahead and use our toolbar and drag the size down. Alright, and then to change the font, it's nice that we have some text written already because we can just click on the different fonts on the left and it will automatically show us the font. So sometimes this little toolbar gets annoying, we're just going to stuff it in the corner. Alright, and then you can get more different fonts. You just have to make sure that you are selected on your text. Select that text, and there are so many different fonts. Alright, pretty cool. That was like one trick pony for some reason, but you don't want something that's like too hard to read. So either Sue Ellen or Shadows looks great for our needs right now. I like how it's kind of like handwriting. And I'm just going to drag that so it's right underneath our original logo. Looking good. Be a little bigger. Alright, and then if you want to change the color of it, you can do so just by clicking and highlighting the text. Get our toolbar back from the corner and click anywhere on this little color bar on the right, and then bring the eyedropper onto a color you want to pick, like this orange or the brown, whatever you want to do. You can even go to black or like other colors on your screen. You can get the blue from the little toolbar, which is kind of funny. So whatever color you want. I'm just going to go with the brown. Awesome. And then I'm going to highlight the text, and some fonts won't go bold, which is kind of unfortunate, but there are effects you can use and you can make it stand out with like a drop shadow. Nice. Alright, so once we've added a little more pop to our logo here, the last thing I like doing sometimes is just sharpening it up. It's also good for images you might use for a YouTube thumbnail or a blog post thumbnail. We can go back to the main set of tools, scroll down, and go to sharpen. Then you can just pull it, and it might get sharper, it might not. So it's good to try. Sometimes this helps with a little bit of like extra, edges, getting rid of some graininess. I'm going to give it like a sharpness 3 and a clarity of about 14 and apply it. Alright, so now we just need to crop our logo down again because our canvas is way too big. So let's go to our main tools, scroll up and crop. and then you can easily just drag, and cropping is really, really good if you want to get a specific size and you want to scale the photo so it stays within that ratio. Alright, my friends, so now we're going to pull this in, get rid of as much white space as you possibly can, because WordPress does not like white space. It likes giving you its own white space. And beautiful. And we're going to apply, and now export, and call this logo version 2. And you can go JPG or PNG, but JPG is a little smaller, so it's good to keep things a little bit lightweight on your site, and save it. Now back in WordPress, if you remember how to upload a logo from before, we can just go to Customize, and we're going to head over to our header and logo settings and change the image, and upload, select, just grab ourselves a new logo, which is logo version 2, and open, and choose image, and there you go, and publish. And when we look at our site, you're probably going to laugh because our logo is like astronomically huge, which leads me to my next part, which is telling you how to change the size of a logo with custom CSS, and it's also how to change the size of any part of your site. What we're going to do is use this little trick I like called inspect element that I've been helping people learn on YouTube for like almost 5 years now. We're going to right click on top of the logo and click inspect. And then we're going to come over to the right and see that this logo in our WordPress site is called #logo img. And all you need to do is just copy that logo img part. Okay, now we're going to go down to customize, and let's go all the way down to additional CSS, and we're going to start writing a little bit of custom CSS. So we can right click and paste the part of CSS that WordPress wrote for us, and don't worry about the error because we're going to fix it by actually writing it out. So this is how to basically change parts of a WordPress website using CSS commands. It's really useful if you're developing a custom website in WordPress for someone and they like most of the theme, but they don't like say 10% of it, and you have to remove it or change certain stuff. If that's the case, this skill will save you. So you just need to write an open bracket and hit enter, and then go with a max width of anything less than 100, so like 50% is perfect, and then the semicolon right there. And the reason I know it's max width is because I have remembered a lot of CSS commands. If you write like max width without the dash, it's just not right. It's just not like the right one. It's just not the correct command. But there are also so many other ones you can do. Like you can put padding, you can change the orientation. And if you want to learn more CSS commands, you just have to ask Google. So for example, we can drop this down a little more, maybe 40 is enough, or even 35 is a good size. Nope, 40 is good. Okay, perfect. And if you're at the wrong thing, you can always use Command or Control Z to undo it. While we're here though, I just want to make this logo look perfect and get rid of a little bit of the white space above and beneath it. I'm talking about this guy up here and this guy below it. So why don't we right click in that area and click inspect and see what it shows us. So we can pull our little previewing bar down, and I think I saw the right item on the lower right over here, which is padding. So once you find something like padding, you can click and try to remove it, and it might change and it might not. So using trial and error, we can copy this header. We can try to mimic what's going on here in this CSS that's controlling our theme. So I'm going to write a little bit of our own of #header, open bracket, and then go with padding bottom of say 35 pixels. And let's try padding top of 35 pixels. And we did it. So just writing that in our own way, we'll overwrite the CSS code controlling your theme, which was originally written by SoloPine. And I'm sure they don't mind if we change it a little just to make it perfect for us. And that way, we can actually have full control of what's going on in our site. So just an example of how to use a little custom CSS to change things on your theme, a great web design skill as you get further in WordPress. And just make sure you get your numbers right and your punctuation right, because otherwise it can look really wonky. All right, and let's publish. Great job, guys, learning a lot, and let's check out our site. Awesome. Great job, everyone. And just a quick note, guys, back in AdSense, when we click on sites, it shows that our site is still getting ready. And that just means when you click on the eye that it could take some time, a few days, Shouldn't be up to 2 weeks, but AdSense is basically reviewing your site right now. As long as you follow the steps here and you've inserted AdSense like we did, you should be fine. But I'm just going to ask you to monitor this little getting ready sign until it says ready, in which case you'll be able to get ads like on gregandryan.com, which look like pretty much however you want to make them. In this case, it's just the large sidebar squares. But for the time being, I'm going to go to our site and I'm just going to remove those spaces so they don't look like empty white spaces in the sidebar. And then you can just pop those ads back up when your site is ready. So I'm going to go to widgets and I'm going to open our custom HTML sections and call them AdSense 1 and then AdSense 2. And to make life easy on yourself, WordPress has this little area down here where you can stash inactive widgets. So we can just drag this widget 1 over here. And if you save it, it'll show the name right next to the custom HTML label. And we're going to do that with the other ad too. So that you can just drag them back in and start showing ads on your site whenever AdSense finally gets around to making our site ready with the green sign. Okay, a couple other small orders of business before we launch our site. I want to show you how to put a category link in the menu so you can display like a certain type of post like they do on the Alder demo, where it says like lifestyle and then you get a whole awesome grid of lifestyle posts. So to do that, let's add one more post and let's call it lifestyle and just do it how they've done it right here with category lifestyle. So let's open up one of these posts and I'm just going to grab the image here from the post with a right click and save image as. Thanks very much, Solopine. And then come back to WordPress. We're going to go to the skinny menu at the top and click new post. And this is just going to be called Amazing Views from My New Blog. Alright, we're going to add that image, add media, upload files, select files. Grab the cool view and open it, and then insert in the post. Awesome, and then we'll just write some text beneath it in the visual tab. So why don't we just grab some of this cool hipster Ipsum it looks like from Solopine. Really nice creative content right there, and paste it in. Alright, now most importantly, we got to give this post a category of, in our case, lifestyle, and add new category, and then publish it. Okay, now let's click to our home page and we can see our post came in right here, but we just forgot to add a featured image, so let's do that too. Set featured image, grab our cool views image and set featured image and update. Okay, cool. So now when we go to our home page, we're not going to see that post at the top because our featured area uses the updates category, as we can clearly see by the updates sign, updates link right here. But our new post will come in down below. Awesome. So in order to get that category link in our menu, we want to go to menus. So we can hover on our dashboard link at the top and click menus. And now we're going to go to categories and hit lifestyle and add to menu. And perfect. So lifestyle is there. We're going to save it. Now view the home page and we have a new link item right here. We can click lifestyle and we're just going to get that one post for now. But if we go back to our posts on our home page, like for example the ultimate guide to travel blogging, and we edit the post and then we add the category of lifestyle and update. Now when we click on that lifestyle link in the menu, we should see a list of both posts because they're both lifestyle posts now. Cool. If you're wondering how to control what text from your post shows up on the home page, so you want it just to say a little bit of the text from your post, you can click to the post and edit it. And then you can make use of the read more link. So just put some space by wherever you want the text to cut off. Put your cursor there and then just click on this little button that looks like a hamburger for insert read more and update. Now wherever that post is displayed, like on your home page, it should cut off the text at the right point. Awesome. And someone can click continue reading to get to the rest of the post. We're going to edit that post though. We're going to delete that image because we already have a featured image. We don't need that image twice. And update. Alright guys, your blog is looking really nice now. And along the lines of tiny little stylings on your blog, I'm going to go back to customize. I'm going to bring our logo down a little bit in size, so additional CSS. Logo maybe 30. and publish and exit. So when it's a little smaller, the logo looks a little sharper. All right, beautiful. All right, guys, so with that done, our blog is complete. I'm a little bit sad because it was fun learning how to blog with you guys together, just like it is every time we make a video. I'm super excited to say that we've crossed over 10,000 blogs made. So that's 10,000 new people who wouldn't have a blog and now are able to write and express themselves online, enjoy freedom of travel, time, finances, and basically just get a slice of the pie that is blogging. I hope you were able to write up a bunch of blog posts, and if you have any questions about how to market your content, I do a lot of online marketing on the side, so I'm happy to help you launch and make it all successful through various free organic techniques. Please make sure to check the description for any more videos and updates and all the useful links that we learned in this video. If you click on any of my links, please assume that if they go to a product, they are affiliate links, so I'll earn a small commission at no cost to you if you use them. Thanks a ton, that helps me keep going every day. I'm happy to explain to you how to become an affiliate marketer too, because I believe everyone should be able to teach and give back and get a little bit for doing it. It's sort of just how this little blogging thing works. And yeah, that's all I can really say, guys. Please make sure to hit the like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm a ton and lets people see a new video by our community here instead of an old video by someone who's just like lying about the date or copying someone else's video. You know, there's a lot of duds on YouTube, so if you hit the like button, it would help me and the YouTube algorithm a ton, and it's super free, and yeah, that's just the best way to say thanks and thank you if you can do that. Please make sure to comment too. I'd love to hear from you. No question is like too simple or too whatever. I don't even want to say the word stupid because I ask stupid questions all the time. And if you want to subscribe, I would love to have you in our YouTube community. It's growing pretty fast, but there's always room for you. And you can hit that bell so that you get all the WordPress help right away when I publish it. And that'll just help you increase your knowledge quicker and quicker. And when you're online building websites, it's actually really important to know things before the next guy, because then you can do things and do services for other people on the web. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thanks so much again for watching. I'm Graydon Ryan, and I'll talk to you soon.